All right, everybody, it is another week and we made a lot of moves because we had a lot of cash just sitting around. Now, we had a lot of cash sitting around because of the VXX shares getting called away, which we did make money on. SFM also, we had shares of them get called away and then we closed out and sold some shares. So had a lot of cash just sitting there. So with that being the case, with SFM, we went ahead and opened a put position. We sold a put. So got some money for that. If we go over here to the Excel sheet, so all this up here is the money that we made from selling the covered calls, and then they got called away. So then we opened a new cash secured put on it, and that's just the wheel. We're just going to keep doing that. As soon as we get assigned by selling the puts, then we'll turn around and just sell covered calls again. But we got $77 for selling that put, and if you look here, that means we've made $354 off of this stock so far. Now, an interesting thing that happened is I was kind of bummed out because we sold the covered calls at a 27 strike, and the price of the stock was like 29 or something like that, and then the strike of the covered call was 27.5. And I was kind of bummed out because I missed like $300 there. But as soon as that happened the following week, which was this past week, the price kind of dropped. It's at a little under 27 now. So I did miss out money on selling for 27.5 when they were worth 29.5 or whatever it was. But the thing is if I would have held on to them, I still would have had them. Like if I wanted them, got them called away in that covered call, then I would have still had them and I would have lost money. So it worked out kind of. Obviously, if I could have sold them for 29 or whatever it was, then I would have made more money and then they would have dropped back down. And yeah, that could have been better. But as it stands, we kind of got lucky in this sense because now we can sell the put. We probably will get assigned. I have a feeling this is going to rebound before it expires. It's not going to expire until 18th of Feb, but we'll see what happens. There's plenty of room for it to go back up. All right, next up is Levi. So I had two covered calls on Levi, and they both expired worthless, so I just got to keep that whole premium. That being the case, I have 200 shares, a little over 200 shares of Levi, and I actually only want to have around 100. So what I did is this week opened up two new covered call positions, but I did one at a lower strike. So I was able to get $50 from selling that one, and that's the one that I want to get called away. So if it doesn't, then I'm just going to keep selling covered calls at a higher delta than the next covered call, because I don't necessarily want those ones to get called away. So I'm just going to continue my basic wheel strategy. But yeah, I'm going to go a little bit aggressive with one of the covered calls, just because I want to get those shares called away and I want to make more premium while I do it. So I was able to make, I think $75 this week off of that. All right. I did open up a cash secured put on Ford because I really want to own Ford long term. I may or may not wheel this actually once I get the shares. I probably will, just to milk out a little more income, but I don't know. I think Ford's gonna kind of explode. I mean, it got up to like $28 and then dropped back down. So yeah, it's kind of a weird time to be doing wheels right now because I feel like you could lose out on a lot of gains. So I'm going to decide what I want to do with that if I get assigned. If not, I'm just going to keep selling puts and collecting premium. All right, what's next? I bought 2 shares of SFM, which is a semiconductor ETF. I really think that ETFs are going to be the big thing for the next couple years, especially with all the electric vehicles and pretty much just life. Everything revolves around technology and computers and yeah, we're going to need semiconductors. Well, the price dropped because everything dropped, so I went ahead and bought two. And I bought two for $266, and now I want to have like 5 or 6 total shares of this, just so it'll be balanced in my portfolio. But I didn't want to buy them all at once because I kind of wanted to see what the price would do. So then I waited, and then like 2 days later, it dropped down to $257. So I went ahead and bought another share. If we look over here at that page, yeah, so we're at a cost basis of 263.82. So we bought the 2 at 266 and the 2 at 257. So that's our average. If it goes down again, probably going to buy more. We just kind of got to see what the market's doing because everything's kind of going weird right now. I may buy another one. Today's Sunday, so I may buy another share tomorrow just because it's below the 267. But we'll see. I'm going to kind of play that one by ear. The main reason that I went ahead and just pulled the trigger on that is because we made so many options plays this week and collected a lot of premium. So I just wanted to go ahead and put it to good use right away. But besides that, we also sold a covered call on RIOT, which I was real hesitant to do. This stock is just going all over the place. I mean, I think it went up to like 17 and then down to 12, and then it's just all over the place. But I kind of decided that I can't really just sit around and wait for it to go back up for what I paid for it. So I'm going to try to milk out a little return. If I do get called away, I don't know what I'm going to do because I really want the stock because I think eventually it will go up a lot, and I'm talking like 100%. But it's just my portfolio is so small right now that I don't know. I don't know if I want to have that risky of a stock in it. When I'm so like undiversified, like having something like that, it's just kind of, it doesn't really make a lot of sense unless we're just gambling, which is in essence what that stock is. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. The problem is that I paid so much for it that if I let it go right now, I mean, it would just decimate me. So yeah, I'm just going to keep wheeling it and then kind of decide what I want to do, see how it goes, and yeah, go from there. All right. Biggest things we did this week is these credit spreads down here. So I ran a screener, and if you guys are interested in that, just let me know. I'll tell you what metrics I look for in a stock in order to put in a credit spread. And these are put credit spreads. So I'm expecting the stock to go up over time. Anyway, I did on MS, Morgan Stanley, I sold the 94 and then I bought the 92. If you don't know what that means, just look up a credit spread video. There's really good ones out there. I may do one in the future once I get my head around them a little bit more. I don't want to put misinformation out there, so I'm real hesitant to like make videos right now in regards to actually like teaching. These are just what I'm doing, these videos right here. Okay, and then Charles Schwab, we sold the 84 and then bought the 83. And we did 3 of those, and then we did 2 of the Morgan Stanley, and then just on the SPY, which is probably the safest bet you can do, we did a 415 put and a 412. It's at 442 right now, so plenty of leeway. Schwab's a little bit closer. It's $4, $5, but it's about the same because of the price of the stocks, and yeah. And then same here, 94 stock price is 101.5. So I got a lot of leeway. But if you'll notice over here in the quantity, there's a reason that I sold 2 of these, 3 of these, and 1 of these. And it's because we go over to weekly balances tab. So this right here, this number, every week when I put in my balance tab, that's how much I can spend on each options play, because I don't want any options play to be more than 5% of my options target. So if I have $6,000 for option plays, then each position can be no more than $300. That will increase as the account size increases, and hopefully it'll just compound. But that's the reason that we have 2 here, 3 here, and 1 here, is because the collateral that we had to put up to, or that, Ameritrade, TD Ameritrade took, equals $300. A roundabout. And a little bit over, a little bit under. I'm not like super nitpicky with it. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it this week. I do have some work to do. I got to do a little bit of research. I may jump into some oil stocks this week. I may be a little bit overweighted with my long positions just because everything kind of is at a discount right now. I kind of just want to take advantage of it, and that's why we have cash set aside, is so when shit like this happens this past week where everything just tanks, we can go ahead and get in at a discount, and then usually it stabilizes and goes up from there. Maybe making some more long plays this week, but I'll just have to see. Anyways, good luck to everybody next week, and see y'all later.